Hello, girls and boys. Hope you're enjoying your time at home, but I also hope that you're doing some reading and keeping up with things for school. This is Mrs. Wilkin, and I will be reading the story "And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street." When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always tells me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and that what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales." Now what can I say when I get home today? What do you say when you get home from school? Marco says, "All along the way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street." Can you see the little horse and wagon? Horton likes this story. "That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse? That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street." Use your imagination. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. It's kind of hard to say, charioteer. A gold and blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. Can you imagine a gladiator's charioteer? No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Do you think a reindeer would look pretty smart on your street? Maybe at Christmas time or in Dr. Seuss land. Hold on a minute, there's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. Notice how the story's changing. A reindeer and sleigh. Say anyone could think of it that way. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. That's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Can you imagine a Raja with rubies? But now, I don't know. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. Yeah, think about those science elements. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. Have you seen this down your street? What do you see down your street? Can you imagine it to be like Mulberry Street? A band that's so good should have someone to hear it, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs 2 at least. Can you imagine who the helpers will be for the blue elephant? How about 2 big yellow giraffe? But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into Bliss Street. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. Nobody likes a traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through where traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. Do you know Sergeant Mulvaney? The mayor is there and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Kind of looks like a parade and the mayor's there. Where would you like to be if you were in that picture? I think I would like to be playing an instrument. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Suppose that I add, wonder what they're gonna add. They just dumped a lot of confetti. Maybe balloons? Noisemakers? A Chinese man who eats with sticks. A big magician doing tricks. A 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. What else could you see on Mulberry Street? I think that he's added everything to his Mulberry Street. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt really great. For I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Now we're back to a very little picture, or no picture. Wonder what he's going to say. Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Learn to use your imagination. It makes your days much more creative and fun. We miss you. Have fun at home, but make sure you're reading and practicing those math facts, and we'll see you real soon.